Hello. It's a bit of a weird one being out here, isn't it? I figured with everything that's going on in the industry right now and the fact that the UK is in another freaking heat wave, that I'd just come outside and maybe touch some grass and share some thoughts on everything that has been going on. Because we had Summer Game Fest, we had the Xbox showcase, the PlayStation showcase, the Nintendo Direct, we had a load of interesting stuff, we had all the other showcases that happened as well. So many awesome announcements happened, and then all of a sudden, it's as if everything just fell apart. So I want to go over all those happenings and just share my thoughts on it and let you know why I feel a little bit upset with it. And also, I'm very aware of the irony in me being outside in this video and dressed like a Temu version of Steve Irwin. We all saw that Xbox showcase, and for most people, it was one of the best showcases that they had. I mean, it wasn't for me, but I digress. You know, everyone's got different opinions and we're all allowed to have them. We all thought that we were going to be seeing some incredible stuff coming out now from the Xbox game sort of studios and like anything affiliated with that. But all we've heard is bad news. There's a lot of things that have happened, and obviously it's been a little bit since I made my last video, and things have developed in that time to the point where now Xbox are going to be laying off 3,600 employees. We've already seen half of that either happen already or about to start happening, and the rest is going to be happening throughout the rest of the year. Part of this does mean that some games that we saw get shown off aren't actually going to be coming out as maybe Xbox exclusives, if they still come out at all. One of the games that we saw was Senua from Team Ninja, which is not to be confused with Ninja Theory, which
I am very aware that I just got Ninja Theory and Team Ninja confused.
I was thinking, what the hell are the Ninja Gaiden team involved in this? As soon as the presentation was over, it was pretty much announced that they were looking to sell off that team. And I don't think the team behind the game knew that when it was shown off. And when questioned on it, it appears as though it was kind of done as like a, hey, look at what you can get if you buy this studio. We also know now that Double Fine are being looked to spin out into their own studio as well and go back to being independent off the back of Kiln, which, yeah, I don't think anyone was really excited for that one, but Keeper before it was a really cool indie title, and they've always had like quite a niche sort of loyal following. But then we've also got to think about games like South of Midnight from Compulsion and State of Decay 3, which was from Undead Labs, and those studios are looking to be sold off as well. And it's a really, really weird thing where they showed off these games, they made such a big fuss about it. Hell, South of Midnight won awards, and it's still not good enough to actually stay within their wheelhouse. But there's also Arcane, who are behind the Blade game, which was meant to be coming out, which we don't even know what's going to be happening with them yet. It's really weird. We've also found out that id Software has lost over 130 jobs and is now down to a team which was the size that they made the Doom 2016 game with. We've also got IO Interactive that are facing losses because even though they're not directly involved in this, we're backing another project that they were making, and they're pulling out of that as well. And it's really, really weird to see that this is happening with these games that have all gone on to win awards and be really successful, but Microsoft doesn't want to be involved in it. And before anyone gets on Asher Sharma's back for being this sort of devil that's come in to cut these jobs, let's be honest, she was put in a really tight situation. She came into a company where basically the previous management had invested so much in all these smaller studios and bought everything up for Game Pass, and then all of a sudden realized that actually that's not making the money they thought it was going to make, and they're kind of in a bind for it. So she had a few options: either captain a sinking ship or make some changes that suck and hurt. And I don't think anyone out there is expecting her to sit there and be rubbing her hands together and smiling that she's cutting these jobs, or being the one signing the paperwork that's cutting these jobs. But it has to happen by the looks of it for this to work. For Double Fine and Ninja Theory, they may end up going the ways of Toys for Bob and still end up being quite a successful studio that still get this multi-platform success. What's going to happen for the other smaller studios, I don't really know. But things are really shaky over at Xbox at the moment, and now we know that Asher Sharma's also been looking to pick up a federal job as well. It's really weird that we had a really awesome showcase and now all we've had afterwards is bad news. I don't like this. It sucks because it looks like it is the previous management's decisions which have brought a lot of this on. Heavy COVID spending and people thinking the buying habits from COVID were going to carry on, when we all realize that's not going to happen. With games taking so long to make now as well, you can't have that. What does the future hold for Xbox? I don't really know. I just hope that anyone that has been impacted by these losses and these layoffs can find some new employment to support themselves and is being looked after as best they can, because, well, this sucks. Sticking with Xbox though, What are you going to do when you've already got bad news happening? You're obviously going to do what Xbox do best and what I've covered multiple times before and raise the price of your hardware. Yet again. That is right, folks. Every single Xbox console is going up, or in the case of the 2TB model of the console, being sunset. We've got the 512GB Xbox Series X going up by $100, and then you've also got 1TB model going up by $150. Now, let's just think, it's been by 8 months or so since the last increase happened. If we go back to launch prices to now, you're looking at about a 60% increase across the board. It's insane that this is still happening. That these consoles have gotten so expensive now. When the Series S launched, it was $299. Now that same console is going to run you $499. It shouldn't be happening, and I say it all the time, but I can remember the time of less than £100 GameCubes. I can remember the time where you picked up a PS4 and 2 games in a Black Friday deal. Now you'll be lucky if you actually get a Black Friday deal on a console. It is insane. The worst thing about this is that these companies that are saying that it's because of the AI data centers eating up all the components and stuff, Microsoft have all of that. They are to blame for that. They have a hand in it. They make Copilot. It sucks, but they make it, and that requires resources, and that's part of the problem. So you can't sit there and make the problem that you're then complaining about. It doesn't work like that. It sucks that these consoles are getting so expensive and pricing everything out, but it's not the first time that we're going to be talking about this in this video. Don't worry. There was a little bit of good news, and that was that the GTA 6 pre-orders did drop. And that was when all the bad news about GTA 6 came to light. Because, you know, a game that's been in development for so long now, you'd be thinking we're going to have a really, audacious launch. We're going to have like a really over-the-top thing for it, like special editions up the wazoo. No, we got nothing. We are getting a digital game, and that is it. We are getting nothing more than digital content, with the only special edition being the Ultimate Edition, which comes with digital content. There's no physical release whatsoever for it. But Temp, I hear you say, I've already got myself a pre-order of a physical copy. Well, little Timmy, let me tell you, that physical copy that you've got is a code in the box. There is no disc-based version of GTA 6. We don't know why. We don't know if it's because they want to stop leaks happening or anything like that, but all we know is that Rockstar have confirmed that GTA 6 will be a digital-only product, and they have no plans to put it into a physical medium. What gets me about this is I waited 14 years for Duke Nukem Forever. When that came out, it had a special edition, and I pre-ordered that, and I'm an idiot for doing so, but even that game gave me a special edition after that much of a wait time. We've waited so long for GTA 6, and there is so much excitement around it, we're getting nothing. But it doesn't stop there, because if you pick up the standard edition of GTA 6, you are going to be locked out of some content, because behind the Ultimate Edition, there are about 5 or so shops that you won't be able to enter without having the Ultimate Edition on your account. And it's really weird that they're going around this way of locking you out of actual in-game content because you haven't bought an edition of the game that has been in development for so long and hyped up for so long. It's really weird to have these game mechanics locked that way. And the other thing that's really interesting is there's still no mention about online. Now, it did take a while for online to come to GTA 5 when it did come out. However, with that in mind, it has been out for a while now, and you would expect that after all this time that maybe there'd be something that they're planning for it. But Rockstar keep on reiterating that GTA 6 is a single-player experience, which makes me feel that GTA Online is going to become its own separate entity, and we're going to see that in its own way. All that said, I am part of the problem who will be buying GTA 6. But what I will say is Scalper's idiocy knows no bounds, because they have already gone out and started pre-ordering the game to try and resell online somehow. And if you're an idiot that has bought that, you deserve all the misfortune that comes your way for it. Please do not be stupid and pre-order or buy a scalped priced version of a digital game where there's an almost infinite number of codes for it. What
Surprise
is going on? When the Steam Machine was first announced, I was super excited for it. I think the entire internet was. We were going to get our GameCube. We were going to get our hands on a console-like PC from Steam that was going to live in our living rooms next to our TVs and play our entire Steam library, give us a PC at the same time as well, and be this incredible entertainment system. And now we know the price of it, and it's not good. The cheapest possible version of the Steam Machine, you're looking at dropping £879 British pounds. And that's without a controller, because with a controller, you're looking at paying £939 for it. The top end model is over £1,200 with a controller. It's absolutely ludicrous that we are at a point now with this new console. I'm calling it a console. It's meant to be a rival to these consoles. I don't care what you people say about it being a mini PC. It's designed aesthetically to rival a console. It's meant to replace a console. It's meant to be something in the living room, all right? It's a console-esque experience. It's ridiculous that this costs this price. And it's not only that, but the performance of it as well does not warrant the price tag that is on there. Digital Foundry did a really good video that I will link down below, that when you watch that, you'll be able to see exactly what the Steam machine can pump out. And if you're expecting a 4K 60 experience, you are not getting it. Hell, you're probably not even gonna be getting a 4K 30 consistently experience. It's just mind-boggling. And I'm gutted because I wanted one. I thought I was going to get one of these and have a great time playing with it and have an amazing time trying out all these games in my living room, having this new environment to work in, this new ecosystem that my deck could be a part of. But no, we don't get that. We've got a console which costs close to £1,000 that has not got the performance that warrants it. And yeah, you know, it's not entirely Steam's fault because obviously this was not meant to come out at this point in the year. And also, they didn't intend for it to come out in the midst of this component crisis caused by AI. And what I will say to Steam is, as far as I'm aware, they're not part of the problem with that. They're just caught up in it. And they're not a big enough player in the hardware market that they can pull like favors and have like favorable pricing with these component manufacturers. They get caught with the price. And if they say no, they're not going to be offered it at a different rate anywhere else, really. That's pretty much the price they get. And it sucks that that's the way that it is. I really wanted this to be a good thing. I really wanted to say that I'm picking one up and having a good time with it. I'm not even getting myself the actual controller now because I just can't justify any of it. And hell, I haven't had my invite through for the controller yet either. It's just taking way too long to drop and I've kind of gone past the excitement for it. If you're picking one up, let me know how it goes for you. I'm still intrigued by it, but at that price, I'm going to have to pass on it unless this video blows up and I get a ton of subscribers, then that ad revenue kicks in and I can buy one or just jet off to Cancun and never look back. Do you know what I love more than lifting weights and drinking White Monster? Owning absolutely nothing. And that is the future that Sony is kind of pushing towards. Because we had a blog post recently that said, come January 2028, they will be making no more physical games. So what that means is any games that are releasing after that date will not have a physical disc. Games that come out before that will still have games produced, but new titles will not be coming out to discs. And the internet has been in an absolute uproar about it. It is wild to see that the comments on all of their posts that are going, you know, back a few posts and all the new stuff that is coming out as well are just full of people slandering Sony for this decision. And I feel really bad for the social media team that have to deal with that because it's just, it's not their fault, but it sucks that they are caught up in the crossfires of it. And it just makes you wonder what the PS6 is going to be like, because if they're pushing to have no physical new games come out, it probably means we're looking at a digital-only console, and that's it. And if there is a disc version that comes out, or a disc attachment that comes out, I can guarantee you it is not going to be a pretty one that looks exactly like it should on the PS5. It's going to be some ugly one that's attached by the side, and you want to hide it out of the way, essentially. The other problem is going to be the crowd that this impacts, because looking at the PS6 rumors and the rumored price tag for it, you're looking close to 4 figures on this, as you kind of expect, given the fact that the PS5 Pro is close to £800 right now, and everything's only getting more expensive. People who be buying this on day one are going to be your enthusiasts, the people who've got big physical libraries, the people who have supported Sony for a long time. If they're not able to play these games on this new console, what's going to happen? Because a lot of people now will be looking to probably trade in their older consoles or sell off their PS5, PS5 Pro to then buy a PS6 when that comes out. And they can't do that if they won't be able to play those games. So they're going to have to keep the console line around. So it's going to make things more expensive. And it's just a really difficult situation, I guess. Like, what's going to happen with physical stores? Are we going to see them just have nothing there? Are we going to see the return of just game keys like on cards or key cards, like, but not the Nintendo way of doing it, like gift cards with the key on it? Are we just going to see credit in stores? Like, what are we going to have for it? I don't know. I really don't know what's going to be going on for it. It's weird as hell. We've also seen the fallout from digital libraries with Sony and their Studio Canal contract not renewing, meaning that people lost access to over 500 films and shows that they purchased. I don't want that to happen in my library. I want my games to be my games, and I love owning something and having something and putting it on my shelf. Even if it's a bit of an inconvenience having to get up and get the disc out every time, but sometimes it's just nice to know that I've paid all that money for something and I actually have something to show for it. I don't think anyone is behind this idea aside from Sony and their stakeholders, because especially the social media team, they're not enjoying it. Us as fans aren't enjoying it, and it sets a really horrible precedents going forward for the rest of the industry. Look, I'm gonna be honest, I hate making videos which are like doom and gloom. I prefer to talk about happy things and, you know, share my thoughts on like news that's like positive about new things that are coming out and developments for that. But I kind of felt like I wanted to put this all in one video. And yeah, the title's a little bit, you know, ooh, the games industry's dead or it's dying, like what I chose for this one. But I hope you've appreciated that, like, I'm not someone that's sitting here reveling in that. I'm someone that is actually feeling that this is a tough time for all of us. And I really hope that everyone out there who's impacted by any of these decisions, like these layoffs and whatnot, is okay and is looking after themselves and finds a solution that they need. And I really hope that these studios get together and these companies get together and realize that they need to start putting the players first and the consumer base first. We do have some good news on the horizon. You know, Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced has come out. We've got the Ocarina of Time remake coming. We've got all the Xenoblade Chronicles Switch 2 editions. We've got some good things coming, all right? I hope you can focus on that. I hope you can go outside and touch some grass and just, you know, take in the world around you away from video games and just try and stay hydrated and look after yourself. I will see you for the next one.